co-living or sober living. It's all the rage today, and people say you can make incredible amount of money. So what's the reality? We're here with Miss Kate and Adam, and this is one of their sober living properties. And we're going to talk about how do you actually make money and what are the realities. So guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So Miss Kate, how much does this property make?
We cash flow $1,800 a month with this property.
After all expenses?
After all expenses, yes.
Okay, so before we kind of get into the background of it, right, what it takes to run it, let's go through the numbers.
Sure.
What did you buy it for?
We purchased this property for $95,000.
$95,000 purchase. Rehab?
$74,000.
$74,000. And your husband happens to be a contractor.
He does,
right?
yes.
And what did the property appraise for?
$340,000.
$340,000. So it kind of meets all our formulas,
Yep.
right? The numbers work.
Yep.
So you have a huge amount of equity in the property.
Yep.
And how many properties do you have like this one?
We have 9 sober living houses.
9 so far. So Adam, everybody's excited about these sober living type of properties. And what is the reality of it?
The reality is it's a lot of work, you know. There's a ton of management that goes into it. It's not just, you know, a simple paycheck every month. It's actually
So
running a
hold on,
business.
before we kind of delve into it, let's go back a little bit.
Okay.
Right? Because a lot of times success has a background.
Yeah.
Right? How did you guys get into this?
Having ties to the community,
Okay.
you know, knowing that the community needs it, and getting into real estate and learning that you can make some money from it.
Okay. So you were a contractor.
Yeah.
Right? And before you showed up to us, before you showed up to Mastery, you had a property or two.
Correct.
Okay. So what was the biggest challenge at that time?
Financing.
Okay.
Financing the properties and the rehabs.
So finding the money.
Correct.
Okay. And you guys understood hard money at the time.
A little bit, but we hadn't used hard money. We were just using normal loans from a bank.
Okay.
Yep.
And so today you guys are at 8 or 9 properties already, right? How are you buying them in terms of where's the money coming from?
All private money from Mastery.
All private money from Mastery.
Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of background, so you're getting the private money from Mastery, you're rehabbing the property. So how many bedrooms is that? How many guys are in this property?
In this one, there'll be 8 guys.
8 guys. Okay. And what do you call it? Renting by the bed, renting by the room?
The bed.
By the bed.
They pay a bed fee.
Okay. And the bed fee, is that like weekly? Is that monthly? How does that work?
Weekly.
Weekly.
Yep.
Okay. And a lot of times, so let's just say me, right? I'm like, oh my God, I own all these properties, right? Man, I can buy that one, that one, that one, and just basically turnkey it. What would you say to that?
It's not going to happen.
Okay, explain.
Yeah. So without the management, I mean, there's got to be somebody there to lead the guys, you know, where these guys are coming from and trying to get on their feet. They need some guidance, you know, and they deserve it because they're putting in effort. The property will get destroyed really quick. A lot of these guys don't know how to take care of stuff. They don't know how to simply clean, you know, they got to learn that stuff. And then, you know, it might take off in the beginning, but like I said, your property will get destroyed, and before you know it, your beds aren't filled and you're looking for your next monthly rent check, you know?
So it's not quite, because a lot of times people are like, oh my God, this is the next rage.
Yeah.
Right? This is a business. And a lot of times, like, so these guys are basically trying to get on their own feet at this point, right? So there may be a little bit of a history in the background,
Sure.
right? You're going to have to deal with some personality conflicts.
Yeah.
You're going to have to deal with people who maybe don't deal in a professional manner, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have those kind of issues, right?
Correct.
Whether like it or not. So with you guys, right? Do you guys have somebody who manages this, or are you guys actively managing these?
We're actively managing them, and we have some help.
You have some help.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So before we got started, right, we're like, on my end, right, I'm like, oh my God, this is such a great success story. You guys are such a good couple, and it's exciting to see, right, all the money coming in. But your wife mentioned something, right, that for you guys, this is kind of something you believe in. Can you guys talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, 100%. So Kate and I have made some bad choices in our life, right? We decided a while ago to turn our lives around, and we got some help, you know? And by doing this, we get to give back, and it's also building our future.
Okay.
You know?
Got it. So it's a kind of, this is a cool thing because a lot of times, right, a lot of time people would be like, oh my God, people are going to judge me, right? I made a choice or two that wasn't correct. And sometimes it is a set of circumstances. It's not where you came from. It's where
Sure.
you're going.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, it's like, who gives a damn?
Right.
We're all excited about your success because it's like, my God. And in fact, if you screwed up a little bit and you fixed it,
Yeah.
that has more accomplishment than somebody who comes from a perfect background
Right.
and really makes it work. So is that kind of a thing that, oh my God, it's like some people say, I got saved and now I'm going to do my part to pay it forward?
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
I mean, you got some help from somewhere. Somebody was kind to you.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, what can we do?
Absolutely.
Okay. So for people, let's just say they understand that this is not a get rich quick,
No, it's not.
right? But does it create more cash flow than than the regular rental property?
Sure, it does create more cash flow, but there's a lot of other hurdles too.
Okay.
You know, you got guys that come in and they got to pay their bed fee,
Right.
But they don't have an identification, so they can't go get a job.
Okay.
Well, how are you going to help them get an ID? You know, where are you going to point them to in order to obtain gainful employment? You know,
Right.
like all of that stuff. You got to be able to help all those people with all of those things and
So
doctor appointments
you're
to get
telling
medications.
me I gotta be
and
a
all kinds of-
landlord,
Yeah.
babysitter,
Yeah.
psychologist, psychiatrist, a
Absolutely.
friend, a father, a brother,
All of
and
it.
everything in between. I mean, that's really what it is, right?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. So if somebody was serious about it, let's just say,
Yeah.
right? Because a lot of people, even from Mastery, are going to watch this. Oh my God, Andrew, this is the secret. I'm like, guys, it's like anything else. It's a business.
Yeah.
Right? It's a business, and this is something you guys are passionate about.
Sure.
That you're doing. What would be the direction they should look at to educate themselves?
If they want to seriously start doing
Sure.
this, start looking into what it takes to be successful in it, just like any business. That's
Right.
where you would start, you know. It's not just, oh, there's money to be made, but like I said, you know, how are you going to help that guy get an ID so that he can pay his bed fee every week? You know, how are you going to make sure, you know, he stays sober, gets a driver's license, repairs credit, all that stuff, you know.
Okay. So, Miss Kate, from your end,
Yes.
right? You want to add anything?
I do. I've had a few people, even from Mastery, reach out to me inquiring about sober living. They hear how much it cash flows and they think they can make all this money, but then I have to have the conversation with them like, hey, you are now a management company, a therapist, all the things you just listed, right? There's a lot more that goes into it and it requires a lot more of our time, you know. Sometimes our phone rings in the middle of the night with an issue going on at the house and we got to jump up and address that issue. So it's not just your typical yearly lease rental and you maybe have to show up a time or two throughout the year. We spend every day working on this business.
But does it work for you guys, right? Like, I mean, this is the first time I've even brought this up on a personal level, right? Typically, it's been a business conversation, but does it work for you guys because you understand, both of you understand what it takes to run something like this? Because let's just say you're married to somebody, you have no background in understanding what the problems are,
Right.
right? I mean, it would create a hell of a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Is that why it works for you guys?
Yeah, it works for us because, like I said earlier, we have a passion for it. You know, we have a passion for giving back to the community that helped us out at one point.
Sure.
And we're not just in it for the money. We're in
Right.
it to help people.
Right.
So.
No, and that's what needs to come across sometimes, because sometimes people will look at it and say, oh my God, these landlords, blah, blah. But for you guys, it's like, hey, listen, somebody helped us move forward, and not only can we give back, it's going to require a lot more extra work, but it has to work numbers wise.
Right.
I mean, like, you don't have endless amount of money that you can do charity with this, right?
Right.
So it has to serve both type of causes, right?
Exactly.
So, Adam, in terms of properties, whenever you're looking for a property for sober living, right? Number one, how do you identify a community, and then what type of properties do you guys go after?
So it's got to be a community that needs it, right? That has treatment centers, hospitals, things like that that can help fill the beds. And you got to open up lines of communication with all of them, let them know that you're there. And then the type of property, we don't want guys just on top of each other. It's got to kind of be laid out good enough, you know, maybe a couple bedrooms over here, a couple bedrooms over there, a couple bathrooms in between, or whatever, to where, you know, several guys are home at one time, they're just not crowded in there and uncomfortable.
Got it. Because, I mean, that just avoids problems, and
Right.
it just, the layout kind of thing works.
Right, it's huge.
Okay. So talk about, as far as whenever you have a bunch of guys, does it take more toll than having a regular tenant on the property?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. You got more wear and tear on everything. A washer and dryer, a kitchen sink, a toilet, the floors, there's just more wear and tear.
Okay. So whenever you're basically, let's say you have a property like this one, how are the cities and the communities to work with? Because they're going to have their own things, because some communities are not going to allow it. They're going to have their issues, or you're going to have to work through them.
Right. So you're not going to want to put a sober living house in an A or a B plus neighborhood.
Sure.
The neighbors aren't going to want it.
Right.
As far as the community and the neighbors, like just same as any other property in that aspect, take care of the lawn, be a good neighbor, don't throw parties in the middle of the night and stuff like that,
But how do you stop that?
By management.
By management. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Knowing what the guys are doing, where they're at, being in and out of the properties every day, sometimes 2-3 times a day if it's not running smooth.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's basically you're trying to kind of, are you telling me it sounds like you're trying to get that little house to be a little community.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Where you're kind of building a culture,
Absolutely.
You're building a kind of brotherhood system, whatever you want
Correct.
to call that, where you're trying to get people to be hey man, you gotta kind of get with the program here if you truly want the help. Would that be correct?
That's absolutely correct. They got to be lifting each other up, not bringing each other down. If you've got 3 or 4 guys that are doing good, they've got positive attitudes, they're putting in the effort to get their life back together, but then you've got one guy that's causing all these problems and he's just miserable, he's going to ruin the whole bunch.
Got it.
Real quick. And again, it falls back on management to know what you're looking for. And then, when guys just aren't a good fit for us, for Russell Recovery, we'll find them somewhere else to go. We won't just turn our back on them or something, but they're just not a good fit for us. We're not a good fit for them, But building a community, a camaraderie throughout the house is everything.
So on this property, Adam, exactly what did you end up doing in terms of rehab?
So we didn't need to move any bathrooms or add bedrooms or anything to this one. We did new hardwood floor, new paint, kept a lot of the existing trim. We did update all the plumbing, all the electric, added AC, new furnace, new ductwork, new kitchens and new bathrooms. That's about it.
Okay, got it. So guys, we wanted to talk reality with somebody like Adam and Kate, because this is the reality, whether you call it a sober living house, co-living house, but because a lot of times there's a lot of myths out there. It is work, it is a business, you have to be in it so that you're giving back to the community. You're not just gonna buy a house, turnkey it, have a management company manage it, and be like, voila, I make all this money. That's not how the business works. But having said that, other people have theories, we have properties. You wanna learn more? Go to andrewholmesrealestate.com. We'll talk to you soon.